I want to talk about meaning today, and I know I always say this, but this actually is one of the most important things that I have been able to verbalize because I'm terrible at explaining my ideas. So I'm gonna try my best to make this accessible to understand. And basically, today we are super busy. It's crazy windy this way, so I'm gonna try to sit down. In today's world, we are extremely busy with our obligations and with the things that we need to do, and with our jobs, and with our cleaning our homes, and like sorting out any any documents that you need, or any things that you need to do, or any tasks that you are that at anything that the systems that you're part of expect from you. But in the upcoming years, with robotics and AI, we are gonna get to the point where, and this is this is this is what's going to happen. And just think about like how so many years ago, there's a plane there. So many years ago, if you could go back in the past and just tell someone, think about like the before the industrial revolution or after the industrial revolution or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You could tell someone, or even when the first sort of like phone came out, if you could say, okay, in 20 years or 30 years or whatever, we are going to have a little square thing inside of our pockets at all times, and you'll be able to call anyone you want, of course, as soon as you have their number, right? And people will go like, well, that makes no sense. Like it needs to be plugged to like the electrical outlet or something, otherwise it's not going to work. It needs to have like some sort of um, antenna or something plugged into it, right? So but then you go, okay, so yeah, that's gonna be the case. And then on top of that, you're gonna have a camera inside of the same device. People will be like, that's insane. Like, there's no way that's gonna be possible. And then you'll go, and then on top of that, you will be able to listen to any music that you can possibly think of and imagine that has ever been created in the same device, because it's going to have speakers, and then you will be able to connect it to some little earbuds that you will plug into your ears, and then you will listen to that, and you won't need any wires. And then people from those dates will be like, there is no chance. And then on top of everything, you will be able to FaceTime anyone. Well, what the fuck is a FaceTime? Well, you'll be able to see their faces, and they'll be able to see your faces, and then you will be able to access any piece of information that has ever been written, and then you will be able to pay. So you won't need money. You'll be able to pay. You'll be able to send money. You'll be able to receive money. You'll be able to invest. You'll be able to share your location. You'll be able to create things. You'll be able to keep in touch with other people on the other side of the world just by opening an app. Like all of these things, right? And it just, like, they would think that it doesn't make any sense at all, right? But it actually happened, and now we're here, and now we just take it for granted because that's what our brains do. Like, we are optimized to get used to things, because otherwise we wouldn't function. Like, if let's just say the first time I came here and I saw this, I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. Like, look at this. It's all incredible, right? But I live here, so and the amount of chemicals deployed in my brain were like out of this world that first time that I saw this. But let's just say I walk around here every single day. If that were to be the case, it would just make me it would just make my life impossible because I would just go on my day trying to get to work or whatever, and then I would see this, and then I would enter that state because my nervous system would start going crazy, and I would be like so excited and stuff like that. So your nervous system needs to get used to your reality. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to function. So even the same thing with AI. Like a couple of years ago, we couldn't believe that an LLM was able to receive context from your life and give you an accurate output based on your data and based on the things that you were asking. It was just like it felt unbelievable. It felt like it just couldn't be true, and it was magic and stuff like that. Um, I still remember the first time that I used the new image generation from OpenAI, and then I just sent an image, and then it was able to understand that image and edit everything and just send it back to me. Like that first time was like unreal because I wanted to do that like ages ago and I just couldn't do it, and then I was able to do it, and now it's just normal to me. Like I don't even think about it. So now the next thing is just like, okay, I want to be able to make a movie just using all of the photos that I have and then just uploading them there, and then I'll be able to direct everything. And that is possible, but at the moment it's horrible. Like it just doesn't work properly. And then we have things like Suno, for example, and you can already do like incredible pieces of music just by explaining what you want or uploading like reference tracks or stuff like that. And now you just take it for granted because you see it every day because you've been in contact with it. So it's not novelty anymore. So it's just normal. But let's just say this tool that I'm talking about drops tomorrow, and then I'm able to use it, and then I use it, and then it just blows my mind. By next week or by next month, it's gonna be normal to me, and I'm not even gonna appreciate it anymore because I use it every day. Oh, this guy's gonna be so loud. So that is the thing that happens every single time with with any novelty in your brain, and technological advancements of course count as novelty in your brain. So right now, like everyone has a cognitive horizon, which is the level of understanding that you can grasp with your current perception of reality. Like if let's just say if you've never if you've never read any book, if you've never been in contact with any ideas outside of like your religion or whatever you believe in, you won't be able to understand how, I don't know, like how the theory of relativity works, for example, or how a transistor works in the AI space, or how a neuron can communicate with another neuron, or like those sort of things. You will just like you will be able to understand it if you study it enough, but it will be like your brain will have to adapt just so you can catch those ideas. And right now that's what's happening, because if we think about it, like, okay, the day that there is a massive abundance of goods and services and we don't need to work anymore because it won't make any sense. Like right now, for example, I'm gonna take the ferry back, right? And that ferry is gonna be like the person in charge of taking us back is a human still, because the captain is driving the boat, and then all the crew are humans. But for example, I'm gonna take the metro back home, and the metro is automated already. There is no one in control of the metro. Like there's no driver, so it works automatically. And that is gonna start happening in the upcoming years, in the upcoming 5 years maybe. I think 5 years, but a lot of people say 10, a lot of people say 3, a lot of people say 4. So more or less 5 to 10 years, right? So I'm gonna jump on the ferry, and the ferry is gonna be automated, and it's gonna be driven by AI, and then the crew is gonna be robotics, and the people that clean the ferry are going to be robots. So then, because our level of comprehension hasn't adapted yet, like what I was saying earlier with the phone, like if we think about a phone, like if we go back in the past and we explain that we're gonna have a phone to the people in the past, the their first instinct, because they cannot comprehend, because they cannot understand how something like this can work without making us lose our minds, or without completely disrupting the way society works, they're gonna start saying but, like, oh yeah, I don't like this, I don't want this, I don't need this, like, please stop it, please get rid of it, like, we don't need this thing, and I'm scared of it, and I don't want it, I don't want you to continue with the development of this thing, right? But we, in our minds, because we already understand it, because we already have the cognitive horizon to understand that this is actually going to be great for us. Like, of course, it's going to bring a lot of pain in different ways, because people are going to get addicted to this, because our necks are going to get fucked, because we're going to be looking down all the time, because our like our ears are going to get fucked as well, because we're going to be blasting noise to like 12 hours of the day constantly in there. But it, like, whatever, it is what it is. But also it's going to bring a lot of incredible things, because we will be able to have access to a lot of information that otherwise, like, in the past, if you also go, if you go even further down in the past, even further back, you will get to the point where only, like, the highest um areas of society have access to information, and information is like the most valuable resource, because it's scarce and not many people have access to it. So it is super valuable, and then only, like, the royals can have like the latest information. But now everyone, and to the people living in those eras, it makes sense. But now everyone has access to information, so information is sort of like a commodity now. Like, it's not valuable. Like, yeah, it is valuable, but everyone can have access to it. So the same thing right now, because everyone's working, because everyone's too busy with their obligations, because everyone is way too invested in the systems that they are a part of, that they've never had the time to discover themselves, to look inside of their own minds, to cultivate their own minds, to understand, okay, what do I like? Okay, who am I? If you take away my job, if you take away my obligations, who is this person? Because, like I said, probably 80%, maybe 70%. I'm totally making this up. Like, I have no idea about um, these numbers of the people on this planet base their entire identity in their jobs, in their whatever they're studying, in whatever like things they must do. Because if they don't do those things, they are gonna be homeless, or they're gonna get, like, kicked out of a place, or whatever it is, right? Or they're gonna be judged by their families or their friends or whatever. But if when we get to the point when you don't need to do these things anymore, because we will get there, and like I said, in my opinion, it's going to be 5 years, or maybe 7 years, like 5 to 7 years, um, then a lot of people are going to have a meaning crisis, because they're going to, of course, the day, like, this is the thing that makes me the happiest, and that gives me a lot of hope, and that just brings joy to my life. Thinking about the day, when a war ends, and then the day after, everyone is like burning their uniforms or whatever, and everyone's like happy and singing and stuff like that. I think about this in the scenario of the day after robotics and artificial superintelligence have officially been declared as the new standard, and people receive the message that they don't need to work anymore. And everyone, of course, it's not going to be this way. It's going to be like, it's going to be progressive, but in my mind, this is what I think. Okay, so one day people are going to be watching their TVs, or they're going to be on their phones, and it's going to be like, people of the world, this next Monday you don't need to um worry about like going to work, or you don't need to worry about like doing your taxes, or you don't need to worry about like like, or this next Monday you don't need to worry about economical concepts, and then because it won't make sense anymore, because if the like I was saying, if the person driving the ferry is a robot, if the crew of the ferry is a robot, if the people that are fixing the ferry are robots, if the people that are making the parts of the ferry are robots, if the people, I mean, I'm saying people, but you get what I mean, like, if the whatever is making that thing, if the robots are being made by robots, and the company that makes the robots is run by AI, and then the company that supplies the company that makes the robots is making those parts, is sourcing those materials using robots, or like um, technological machinery that doesn't require humans to be there mining for stuff, or putting their lives at risk, or not seeing their families, or not spending time with their kids, or not spending time doing the things that they genuinely love to do, or spending time discovering what they like to do and what is important to them, because like this is the system we live in right now, because this is what we've created over the course of many decades, but we are going to experience something different in the upcoming years, and we need to adapt to that. So of course a lot of people are gonna have a meaning, um like an existential crisis, because they're gonna be like, okay, if I don't need to work anymore, what do I do now? And they're gonna and they're also gonna be like, okay, money doesn't matter, then let me go and buy all the toilet paper in the supermarket, or let me go and get super drunk for the rest of my life, or let me go and try to, like, I don't know, do stupid things. And that's that's what I'm trying to do here, because I think education, and I don't mean education in the traditional sense of like, okay, 2 plus 2 is 4. No, I mean education in the sense of like having awareness of like a different point of view. Like, I think ultimately the most incredible thing is just to free people's time and humanity's time, so they have the opportunity to do what humans are supposed to do, which is to explore, which is to think, which is to create. And of course AI is going to be able to create better than us, and it's going to be able to think better than us, but who fucking cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if because we're so attached to like ego and recognition and validation and like status, but this is all because that's the way society works at the moment. But like I'm saying, in the upcoming years, because there's going to be a massive change in everything. I don't even know if you're able to see me because it's so dark, but who cares? There's going to be a massive change in everything. We will need to update our values as well. So instead of us doing things for recognition, or for money, or for fame, or power, or all of those things, hopefully, and I'm saying hopefully because I know this is gonna take a lot of effort from us, like the new generation, teaching the upcoming generations to think in a different way, because it's gonna be very difficult to change the minds of the people that came before us, because they already have it so engraved in their nervous systems. That's going to be difficult, but hopefully in the upcoming years, with the next generations starting to just form their beliefs and form the way they think, we can show them a different perspective in life, like based on the desire to see humanity be happy and humanity thrive, and based on like expecting and hoping for the best for humanity rather than like the best for the individual or just like I I genuinely think that we like definitely there are going to be a lot of people that won't be able to bear with the pain of like their own minds, and they will probably kick the stool, if you know what I mean. But for those who decide to explore their own minds, and for those who decide to just stay here and figure this out and give it a chance to see how magical and amazing your own minds can be, even if, like, for example, I know all of these ideas and all of these things that I'm saying, I know AI can easily come up with these things, and I don't care about it. Like, I know all of my thoughts are not original, and they're just like a combination of all of the things that I've read and all of the things that I've been in contact with and all the things that I've heard. But I don't care, because my values are not based on recognition and like status and those things, because that's the way my brain works, and because that's the way my brain works, I know it is possible for us to update our values. Because at one point, for example, like if like we the way our brain works is we just want comfort, right? Like we don't want things to change. We just want we just, because our brain is a pattern recognition machine, we just want everything to make sense and everything to stay the same way. And then if you try to change something, we go crazy and our flight or fight gets activated, and then we just get defensive and stuff like that. So if we are able to recognize that and still drive the changes that are going to make society and humanity thrive in the upcoming years, instead of us getting stagnated, because at one point, like that's the mistake we made in the past, like with previous societies. The more afraid we are with change and the more complacent we get with our current reality, the most likely it is that we're gonna go extinct, and that we're gonna stagnate, and that we're gonna just be miserable, because that's sort of like what's been happening with, I mean, of course, in a lot of places, like here at least, people have more free time to spend time with their families and to I don't know, be creative, to make new things, to pursue this stuff that they love to do. But there are still so many things that people want to do, and they're not able to do those things because of the way their current structures work. But that's what I'm saying, like we're gonna get to the point where we won't need to worry about those things anymore, and a lot of people get their meaning from just chasing things, right? Like just doing something because they need to do that thing in order for them to get to a level, or to buy something, or to be able to afford something. But we will get to a point where you won't need to do that anymore. So a lot of people are gonna start questioning themselves, like, okay, if I don't need to do anything, then what's the point of doing anything? And that is the key. There is no meaning, there is no point. Like, welcome to welcome to the game of philosophy and those sort of things. Like, the people that the people that had the time to explore and to look inside of their own minds and to worry about things outside of, like, how am I going to pay rent tomorrow, we have been sort of struggling with those problems already. And we already made not all of the discoveries, but we already, like, because we're someone that's thinking about, like, okay, how am I going to eat tomorrow? How am I going to I don't know, like, give some food to my kids? How am I going to be able to pay my rent or whatever? It doesn't, like, they don't care about post-labor economics. They don't care about philosophy. They don't care about new beliefs. They just care about surviving. So in the meantime, we, the people that can think a different way, we are trying to figure this out. So then, when tomorrow arrives, and then you don't need to worry about like working, you don't need to worry about any of those things, and you can do anything you want because money will not exist anymore, because there will be a massive abundance of goods and services to the point where it won't make any sense for something like money to exist. Then you can just go back and then just take this from us, like the people that are thinking this way, and understand that there was never a meaning, and understand that you are supposed to live just because, and you're supposed to experience this reality just because, and you're supposed to go to the gym even if everyone has the opportunity to just take a pill and they're gonna be looking amazing, and everyone's gonna be super healthy, and we're gonna have like longevity, escape velocity, and we're gonna have like solved all of these types of cancers, and you will probably be able to live out of cheeseburgers every single day, and you'll be healthier than the healthiest person today. So then you will ask yourself, well, then what's the point of like going for a run or waking up early to go to the gym? Well, that is the thing. There was never a point, like because it's all made up. We made everything up. All of this is made up. Like all of the beliefs that you have are made up. Even these things that I'm speaking, I know this is not the absolute truth. I know this is just my perception of reality, and this is just the things that I choose to believe, and these are just the ideas that I've like decided make sense to me. But I'm not saying this is true, but this is what has given me the opportunity to to not kick the stool, and to wake up every single day and decide to do, fuck, it's so loud here, and to still decide to go for a walk even if I know it's pointless and meaningless, to still go to a club even if I know it's pointless and meaningless, to still go to a gym even if I know it's pointless and meaningless, to still try to like put my thoughts and my ideas out there even if I know it's pointless and meaningless, because what am I gonna be doing instead? Just fucking sitting there and being miserable all the time, just reminding myself how there is no meaning and how everything is pointless. And even more, at least today I need to work, but if tomorrow I don't need to do those things, then imagine how miserable it would be just to be sitting down thinking all the time about how meaningless and pointless your existence is. Just do the things just because, just like be happy to be alive and appreciate being alive, and go to work if you like to do what you do. If you enjoy doing what you're doing, just keep doing it. Even if you don't need to do it anymore, who fucking cares? Just keep doing it. If it's important to you, if it gives you meaning, if it gives you happiness, just keep doing it, because you're not supposed to follow any road or any directions. You're supposed to experience it on your own, and you're supposed to figure it out on your own. And like I said, all of these things that I'm saying are just my point of view, and this is just my brain, but it doesn't mean anything to you, or I mean, it doesn't have to mean anything. The same way going for, that's a great song, by the way. For example, music is another thing. Like I know it's the simplest of the songs. Like it's just a bunch of keys, and it's just like the simplest song, but it's so good. And I'm not gonna be sitting in the middle of the club just thinking, oh, this song is so simple, I'm not gonna enjoy it. Like how stupid do you have to be to think that way? But once again, maybe I'm the stupid one for thinking it's amazing. I don't know. It's just, once again, don't close your mind to only accept your current perception of reality. Like, have an open mind and have intellectual humility. Because even if you think you're the most brilliant person in the world, the privileges that you get from having the humility to listen to other people, to having the humility to listen to other points of view, and experiencing new things. I think humility is extremely underrated in today's society and world, because we are so obsessed with ourselves that we just like everything is status and power and recognition, that we just humility is seen as like this weak thing. But I trust me, like some of the most amazing people I've met in my life are the most humble people ever, and they listen to you and they will pay attention to what you say, and they will ask questions instead of just saying like, you know what, whatever you're saying makes no fucking sense, and I know you're wrong, and I know I'm right, and I don't I'm worth like 20 million times what you're worth. Like the most incredible people I've met, none of them say that. They, of course I'm generalizing, like some of them are massive cons, but like overall I've found that there is a big correlation between being extremely wise and having a lot of intellectual humility. So that is so cool. Oh, cool. But yeah, anyways, whatever. I'm gonna shut up now because I'm shooting myself, and then I'm gonna take the ferry, and then I'm gonna just keep thinking about this nonsense. Right now it's nonsense, but in a couple of years you'll see and you'll be like, you remember this con that was saying these stupid things on an Instagram reel, and now I don't need to worry about paying my taxes and going to work and cleaning my house, and I can spend more time with my family, and I can just go anywhere in the world I want because the plane drives itself. So I don't need to worry about ticket prices or fucking Qantas and what's the name of the other one? Jetstar fucking me just because they want to make more money this weekend. So yeah. Well, all I can say is this is the most exciting time to be alive. Don't lose hope. Be excited about the future, and don't let all of those like pessimistic people around you, because everyone has pessimistic people around them, brainwash you and into thinking that AI is a bad thing for you and robotics are a bad thing for you. So yeah, the future is very exciting. There's going to be a massive, most likely, if we don't fuck it up, if we don't nuke ourselves out of existence, there's going to be a massive abundance in the future because of AI and robotics, and hopefully people are going to be a lot wiser, and we will have a different way of perceiving everything. So yeah, I'm very happy, I'm very excited, and this is the one thing that gives me hope, because being being sort of, I'm not a nihilist because I still wake up every single day, but being sort of like an absurdist in a way, I think that's like the term that would make more sense, because I still do it just because. This is one of the things that gives me a lot of hope and meaning to wake up every day. But tomorrow, when this becomes a reality, I already know that everything is pointless and meaningless, so I'll just probably find another thing that excites me. So yeah. Yep.